never made it, but I know what it takes. I'm motivated by a mix of emotion. Got my statement, and I'm reading it slow so I can understand it fully. Appreciate my standing, go out of this world and right on time. Oh, never in my life have I seen the sky light up like this. I'm far away from Earth and I wanna know if you exist. Mission control, do you read me? Send me my coordinates lately. Mission control, am I drifting? Tie me to someone who will love me, yeah. Wait, I think I'll last a bit longer. Find another.
Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to another Ref Brandon and the Todd family YouTube video. Wherever you are, whatever you may be doing, thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd family part of your day. We always greatly appreciate it. Happy Friday to you. It's the first weekend of the new year. And I gotta be honest, today's video is not what I was originally gonna talk about. I was originally gonna come on here on this beautiful, wonderful, glorious Friday and talk some college basketball. But then Clemson played Miami Wednesday night, and their defense looks like an absolute doo-doo sandwich. And it irritated me, and I said, I don't want to talk about the AP poll in college basketball because now that Clemson lost Wednesday night, they're going to fall either way down in the rankings or fall out of the rankings. So then I decided today we'll talk some college football. Now, this past Monday, of course, being New Year's, we had college football on all day long, starting at noon Eastern time. It used to start at 11 o'clock Eastern time on New Year's Day. Now it's noon Eastern time. But if you didn't like the two playoff games, there's just no hope for you. To me, in my personal opinion, in all the years of the playoffs, this year, the two games were the best first round games we have seen. It seems like every single year, just about, one game is close, the other game is a blowout. But this year, both games were really, really good. But we also had LSU and Wisconsin playing, and LSU won 35-31. That just goes to show you how bad LSU's defense was this year, because Wisconsin's offense was average at best all season long. You're talking about a team that when they played decent teams, they struggled to score 20, and they went up and down the field on LSU. And honestly, really, truly, it's kind of baffling and puzzling as to why LSU's defense was that bad, because they've got 4 or 5 guys on their defense that are probably going to be either first or second round picks in the NFL draft. So their defense had talent, and they even made a coordinator change during the season. Didn't do any good. Their defense was still terrible, and nobody knows why, but it was awful. Oregon beat Liberty 45-6. Liberty had the lead early in the game, and then once Oregon took the lead, that was pretty much the end of the game. Tennessee shuts out Iowa 35-0. And you know, I talked all year long about how bad Iowa's offense was, but how good they were on defense. But defense does you no good when you can't score. and I was listening to the Tennessee pregame show on Monday, and they were saying if Tennessee gets to 13 points, the game's over with. And it really was because, well, Iowa didn't score. So really, once Tennessee got to 7 points, the game was over with. But they had to start Nico, I think his name is Amaleva, at quarterback because Joe Milton opted out. And they didn't do a whole lot with him to give the kid a chance to mess up. But he looked really good and didn't make any mistakes. Then as far as the playoff games go, Michigan beat Alabama 27-20 in overtime. And honestly, really, truly, it was a tale of two halves for the most part because Michigan looked really good early in the game. And then mid to late second quarter and the whole third quarter and the first part of the fourth quarter, Michigan's offense couldn't do anything. But then late in the game when they had to score, they did. And then Alabama had 3 or 4 just awful, awful snaps on offense. And when it's game 14 and your center still can't snap the ball accurately, there ain't much you can do. If you ain't fixed it in 6 months, it's too late to fix it now. But Alabama had one drive where they were moving the ball easy. And then they had 2 consecutive bad snaps that took them from 1st and 10 to like 3rd and 45. And then overtime, they had a bad snap. There's still a rumor going around that Nick Saban is going to retire. And then Washington beat Texas 37-31. And I've said pretty much since about week 2 here on the channel that I thought Washington was really, really good. And they have the best wide receiver room in college football. And it's funny, if you go back and watch that game from Monday night, the announcers kept talking about how good the Huskies were at wide receiver. And I was thinking, yeah, I've said that since September. I don't know why it took everybody so long to catch on to that. But I've said all year long that if you can't score at least 35, I don't think you're going to beat Washington. I just don't see any way Michigan holds them below 21. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think Michigan's going to need at least 35 points to beat Washington. And it's bad that Washington beat Oregon twice, and Oregon was the favorite both times. They beat Texas Monday night, and Texas was the favorite. And at last check on Wednesday, Michigan's the favorite going into this game. So for whatever reason, Washington just doesn't get love and doesn't get respect. I don't know if people are just that foolish or if it's because they're a Pac-12 team and people just can't get through their heads that what conference you're in doesn't matter. It's the talent. And I don't care if the Huskies play in the Mountain West. They're a dang good football team. Or if it's the fact that because they're in the Pac-12, almost all their games during the regular season came on at 10 or 10:30 Eastern time. So if you live on the East Coast, you're up till 2 o'clock Sunday morning watching them. I'm not really sure exactly what the reason is, but all I know is they beat Oregon twice. They beat Texas, and in my opinion, Michael Penix Jr. is the best quarterback in America. But for some reason, people still don't get the Huskies any respect. And wouldn't it be something if the Pac-12 wins the national championship in basically their final year of existence, and the Pac-12 has not won a national championship? I believe since USC won it years and years and years ago, I think that's the last title the Pac-12 has. So wouldn't it be something if they get it in their final year of existence? They haven't come out and said the Pac-12 is going away, but it's down to 2 teams. And Oregon State, if you have not seen their schedule, Oregon State's schedule next year's pretty much a Mountain West schedule because nobody knows what they're doing, where they're going. And that's why their coach left, and that's why almost all their players left, because they don't know if they're going to stay in the Pac-12, if they're going to the Mountain West, if they're going independent. Nobody knows. So that's why their coach left, and almost all their starters left the program because they don't know what they're going to be doing. If you have not seen the Beavers' schedule for next year, it's pretty much a Mountain West schedule because they've got to play 12 games, but as of right now, they're still in the Pac-12, and there's nowhere near 12 teams in the Pac-12. There's nowhere near 10 teams in the Pac-12. So wouldn't it be something if the Pac-12 gets talked about forever for being so bad at football, and then the year it goes away, they win the national championship? I don't know if they will, but it would be something if it happened. Now, a lot of folks still think Jim Harbaugh is going to be coaching his final game Monday night with Michigan, and as soon as this game is over with, he's leaving for the NFL. And when this whole Michigan cheating scandal started about 2 months ago, and the Chicago Bears were playing so bad, and Jim Harbaugh played for Chicago Bears, my first thought was, well, he's going to coach the Bears. But now the last month, the Bears have played so good, I don't think they're changing coaches. So if Harbaugh does leave, I'm not sure now where he's going to go. I would have said the Bears. Now, if the Bears change coaches now, they're an idiot because this is the best the Bears have played in a long time. Of course, it's too late now. They're not going to the playoffs. But if you go back and watch the Bears in September and October, it's not the same Bears team you see now. And when a team was as dreadful as they were the first 2 months of the season, and now they come on strong like this, that shows you they're playing for their coach, so they have no business changing coaches. So if Harbaugh does leave, I have no idea where he's going. I know some Falcons fans that would like to see him coach the Falcons, but will this be Jim Harbaugh's last game, at least for the foreseeable future, as a collegiate football coach? I guess we'll find out coming up on Monday night. If you have any early thoughts on who you think will win Monday night, please feel free to let me know. It should be a shootout because no doubt in my mind Washington's going to score, and if Michigan is going to win the game, I think they're going to have to score. So any thoughts on it, please feel free to let me know. Homes for Our Troops is a publicly funded 501c nonprofit organization that builds and donates specially adapted custom homes nationwide for severely injured post 9/11 veterans. Since the 2004 inception, nearly 90 cents of every dollar spent has gone directly to our program services for veterans. Visit at hfotusa.org. Let's go ahead and get our dad joke of the day in here. And I'm impressed, by the way, before I give my dad joke, the board that I use to write stuff on sometimes, if there's something that I'm afraid I might forget to mention, I'll write it on this dry erase board. And when my twins see me writing on it, they say, "Hey, Daddy, when you get done, can I write on that board?" And I'll say, "Yeah, sure, son, no problem." Well, Avery, my youngest twin, came in yesterday and said, "Hey, Daddy, when you get done, can I write on your board?" I said, "Absolutely, son." He came in here and he only wrote down one thing, and that was the month of December. And he wanted to show me that he knew how to spell it. And I'll be doggone if he didn't spell it right. So, way to go, son. You got your smarts from your mama. But let's go ahead and get our dad joke of the day in here. I feel bad for Taylor Swift. She has to go to all the Taylor Swift concerts. And that does it for today's Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Tell your friends and family how much you love them. Bye.